All right, so after last week's US Open, I've actually had a lot of really good questions. Plus, I get this question a lot when we are working with juniors. But people are asking me, hey, what is this big deal with speed? Everybody's talking about speed and how that is so important. Well, let's talk about it and let's get into it. Here we go. Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you. We're out here at Stony Creek. So we're talking about speed here today. And so this has been a big topic for a couple of years. You had Bryson DeChambeau, kind of do his thing going crazy. But I think what's been, more effective, I think, is people are seeing somebody like Matt Fitzpatrick, who last week came through and won the US Open, and he was bombing the ball out there. He was getting the ball onto some of the par fives or getting it up farther than some of the other guys that you would think are traditionally bombers. And so I had a lot of people coming in this week and asking, hey, why speed? Why should I worry about getting speed in my game? And so, I've talked about it before on the channel. I use the stack, which is the same thing that Matt Fitzpatrick uses, and I've been chasing it as well. And there's a couple of reasons why this is important, and we'll go over those now. And so the first one is going to be when you hit the ball farther. This is going to sound like the most obvious statement in the world, but the farther you hit it, the lower you score. It's really that simple. Now, the one caveat is you have to have playable shots. You don't even have to hit the fairway. You just have to have a shot that you can play from. So a good example of where this is, I think, a little bit more obvious or I guess more important for people is we had Matt Fitzpatrick. He was on the 14th hole at the US Open and par 5, really long, and we saw, his playing partner lay up, okay? We saw him lay it up and lead the ball back, 80, 90 yards, something like that, okay? Then he comes up and hits 3-wood and he threads this gap and he gets it up there within about 20, 30 yards of the green. And the announcers are like, holy cow, what's he doing? Well, he knows the very, very simple fact, and he's applying it, that, hey, you need to hit the ball farther up there to get better scores. You will score better from 30, 40 yards than from 80, 90, 100. Now, that assumes you have some sort of a short game. Not always going to be the case for everybody, but where I see this applying for regular players is, I think when you hit the ball farther, you can actually hit less club, which you're going to be more accurate with, and you can use that to your advantage. So that could be, hey, I can hit like a 4-iron on a par 4 as opposed to my driver, which it might spray all over the place. Instead of trying to lay up on a par 5 with a 3-wood, where I might hit it really bad and leave a really bad shot for my third, I can actually lay up with a 6-iron because I'm going to get to some distances that I can manage then. So I think it's really important to chase speed because obviously it makes your score better chances to score, but it's not always just, hey, because I hit it farther and I'm going to reach par 5s and 2. It's because you're going to be able to hit clubs that you can better control, and you can hit them in more situations than having to always have to go for those uncontrollable hard clubs to hit like driver 3-wood. Now, the second thing that I look at when we start going for speed, and this I talk with parents for juniors a lot, but this is just with players in general, is if you swing it faster, you will swing it better, okay? Physics dictate that if I'm swinging this club and I'm swinging it and I'm not swinging it well, my body and the way the club is weighted is going to slow down. So if you are working on getting your swing speed up, your swing will start to look better. I'm not going to say it's going to look perfect, but it will look and have a lot more usable concepts that we can work with. So the thing that I see people usually struggling with when they're trying to get speed is they're usually trying to move the grip end too fast, which does not allow the club head to move fast. So I'm always trying to get them to move the club head faster as they swing. And when they do that, and then they take a look at it on film, it's like, wow, that's actually really, really good. Then we put the club in their hands, and the key is we got to keep them trying to swing fast, even when the ball's there. Don't worry about where it's going to go right now. Just keep trying to make that swing, because I think your swing's going to make some changes, and it's going to get better, but you'll have to make some adjustments because you're not used to swinging your old way. So your swing gets better. Physics dictates and anatomy dictates that if we want to swing faster, you're gonna need to do this. Now, the last reason you wanna hit the ball far is obviously it's just more fun to do it. So I always encourage people, you know, again, as you're going out to work on your swing, we're talking about practicing like a pro, things like that. You need to have some feedback on if you're getting better. And one of the easiest ways is to work on speed. I use my Stack app all the time. That's one of the reasons I like this system in particular. Not only because I think it works, and it's worked for me. I've already gained almost 40 yards since last winter doing it, but I like it because there's feedback. And when I go to practice, I can get this feeling of like, yeah, I'm getting better. I know what I had previously because it's in the app. I do my scores. It's extremely easy to use because I use the Mevo Plus. When I'm speed training, it just reads off the number from the iPad and the app automatically hears it and records it. So I don't even have to go back and touch my phone. It's just making things a lot easier to know that I'm getting one of the important skills of golf, which is speed. I'm getting better. I have that feedback to show I'm getting better. And like I said, it's fun. It's fun to hit that ball and see it go really far and see that ball go by your competitors. That's always a good time. So getting that speed is something that I think everybody should be working on, no matter what age, what skill level. I think you're gonna see improvements when you do that. Don't try and be too careful, too slow. Work on getting that speed up, and then you can start getting that swing. You'll start having a swing that actually just needs some little adjustments to hit the ball where you want to. So if you have questions about it, please make sure you leave comments down below. It's been a big question over the last week. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Click that subscribe button. We're gonna have more about practicing like pros coming up, so you don't wanna miss out on that. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.